Welcome to ECU Vanguard.
What do you know about women's health? Did you learn about what a woman's body goes through throughout the month? In high schools across the country, female students are suffering from what is called the female health education gap. Worldwide, only 2 out of 5 schools provide menstrual health education. Less than 1 in 3 schools globally have bins for menstrual waste in girls' toilets. This drops to 1 in 5 schools in least developed countries and only 1 in 10 schools in sub-Saharan Africa. This is according to the World Health Organization. When you were in school, did you learn about women's health?
I think it was all just about probably contraception, like condoms and stuff, and like STDs. I do remember learning about STDs. I learned everything I know about women's health, like periods and stuff, through my sisters, because obviously they go through it, but nothing at school.
Hearing from other guys at the school that it was a drastic difference in what women were told and what men were told, but the male teachers weren't really covering anything on the women's side, but as a girl we got told all about the men's.
Not from memory, and if they were, then it was probably just like, there's 4 phases, good luck, you bleed at the end of it.
I discussed the menstrual cycle with clinical nurse Diane Hicks.
4 phases are all to do with being fertile and preparation to conceive a baby. So they start out with you shed the lining of the uterus, which is menstruation. The second phase is where you're getting the egg ready for release. The third phase is where the egg is actually released, waiting to be fertilized. And then the fourth phase is preparation for the pregnancy.
The menstrual cycle consists of 4 distinct phases: menstruation, the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. Menstruation happens at the beginning of the cycle and is commonly referred to as a period. Women will experience cramping, bloating, headaches, mood swings, fatigue, and more. On days 7 to 14, we move to the follicular phase. Women can feel an increase in energy, feelings of happiness and optimism, glowing skin, and a heightened sex drive. The next phase is ovulation, which typically happens right in the middle of the cycle on day 14, is when the egg is released and women are most fertile. The egg can survive for up to 24 hours. During ovulation, women can experience bloating, abdominal pain, cramping, and an increase in body temperature. The last phase is the luteal phase, which is from day 15 to 28. And is the longest phase in the cycle. In this phase, women commonly feel at their lowest with symptoms such as moodiness, stress, sadness, tiredness, bloating, acne, and change in appetite. Cora Hugo, a teacher, gave me some insight into the curriculum.
So we're looking mostly just at 2 phases for year 7s, ovulation and then the menstrual. And then you've got to tie in relationships and all. So a lot of our stuff around the changes that occur to them physically, we're also tying in the social and emotional changes that are occurring at the same time. While physical changes are a real thing for kids, it's kind of like alluding to these are the changes that will happen to your body. You're going to see some stuff that's different. That's all normal and that's okay. Year 9 and 10, we go back into the menstrual cycle and look at how we manage that. So what are the options for being able to manage menstruation rather than the kind of ins and outs of how it all works. We've done a little bit of that at year 7 and that's kind of a bit of our review.
Studies conducted by the World Health Organization show that there's a stigma related to menstruation that remains widespread, with adolescents often feeling ashamed or unable to openly discuss the topic.
Problem in most schools, particularly for health in Western Australia, is kids will do it for like 1 hour a week. In our school, that's 40 hours of health curriculum in the year to go through all of the stuff that we cover. Managing bullying, online behaviour, puberties, and then it's preventative health practices.
I was involved in primary school education. The argument came that the health profession should be there to resource the teachers and that the teachers are the qualified teachers. They've done the training and the course, whereas your health profession haven't done training to deliver education.
We were love to spend more time probably going into greater detail. In particular for women's health, there's a bit more going on. You know, we don't really spend time talking about like endometriosis and, you know, what happens post-menstrual cycle. It's mentioned, but it's not something that's fully talked about. Probably like idea of we'll leave that for later in life, which is kind of disappointing, but when you're limited in how much time you have, it makes it hard.
If women have to go through these phases every month for the rest of their life until they hit menopause, this information should be commonly known to everyone. Our education system needs to be adapted